Well, good morning, everybody. I want y'all to know you kept an old man crying for 2 days. That was probably one of the most emotionally emotional last 24 hours or 36 hours or 48 hours I've ever spent in my life. I can't thank you enough. I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I can't thank you enough for all the wonderful support and understanding. I really just, it's just overwhelming. That was a special day for a couple of reasons. One, not just because I was opening up to everybody and was a little bit nervous about how everybody was going to take it. And I think in the back of my heart, I knew how everybody was going to deal with it, and I just didn't know it would be so intense. It was a special day also because in the video I mentioned that my wife was going back to school and was going to be finishing up in December, and she is. When I was diagnosed, she surprised me one afternoon, and she had gone back to school. She had re-enrolled in school and was trying to finish something that she started years ago. Anyway, she graduates in December she has her RN. She'll be a registered nurse. She did it so she could take care of me and then also pass it on. The other reason that day was special, that I put the video out, was because that was also the 30-year anniversary of my wife being diagnosed with leukemia and lymphoma at the same time. And she's a 30-year survivor. I mean, when I tell you I believe in miracles and I wait for that miracle and I'm always hoping for that miracle, it's because I live with a miracle. It's because I've seen what God's hands can do. I've seen the power of what He can do. I live with it every day. She's an incredible lady who is going to give a lot of comfort to a lot of people. So for those who are concerned or wondering, I know for a fact that God's hands have been on me this entire time. He's been leading me through this process, and He will continue to. I know what my reward's going to be, and like I said before, everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. But again, I find myself so much in you guys' debt. Thank you again. Meanwhile, we have lots of growing to still do. There's a lot to prepare for. Even though this is only middle of June, we only have, 12, 14 weeks before bloom season starts and gets upon us. The summer solstice is coming up in the next week or so. And that's an important moment. At that point, days start to get long, or the long days start to get shorter. We start losing a tiny little bit of light and a tiny little bit of duration and a tiny little bit of intensity every single day. And that's what's going to help trigger all these plants to start blooming. I don't want to wait until my plants have spikes and then start feeding them flower food, or wait till fall to start boosting their reserves or making sure that they're fed well. I want to feed them now, so that 3.5 months down the road that they're ready for flowering, that they're going to be able to produce as many flowers as they can, as big as they can, keep the flowers as long as they can, so the fragrance will be as intense as it could be, the colors will be as intense as they can be, that we have the plants hopefully close to their maximum condition. This beauty that opened up a few days ago is BLC Mary's Glory, and it is a beautiful one. they're all doing really well. They're just growing and growing and growing. And I thought I might get a little break. I thought, well, all the growths that are coming out of them, when I brought them outside, they had a lot of growth starting. And I thought, well, they'll finish these growths and I'll hopefully get a break. But no, they're finishing those growths. Like here, these are two of the new ones. But they've got new growths again coming out. So we'll be dealing with growth for a while yet. And because of that, I'm trying to feed as much as I can, as often as I can, trying to get the plants as big as I can, as strong as I can for the upcoming winter, upcoming fall, upcoming blooming season, upcoming rest period. I really want to make this the best blooming that I possibly can, the very best winter rest that I possibly can give them. So anyway, there's still lots to learn, there's still lots to discuss, still lots to go over, and we're going to take advantage of the time to do it. Children playing, people working. Just a quick peek, everybody, and again, thank you for everything. I will mention this. I had so much good feedback on those videos when I was talking about these glazed pots. I first got this information from Chris, off my one of my viewers, one of my subscribers. Thank you, Chris, in Australia, and she's a very, very, very kind soul and dear to my heart. And she was giving me this information one afternoon. Apparently it's, and I've heard all kinds of comments about this, that it could possibly be the lead and things like that. And it could very well be. I haven't tested them, and I'm not going to test them. I'm not concerned about that. They're pretty pots. I like the airflow capability of them. I drill holes in mine so they drain all the way. I don't like saucers on any of my pots for a reason. I try and keep salt away from them. That's a video we need to probably have, long overdue. But the issue with these is the mineral content in the glaze, and it could have lead because they're not food product. They may have a lower restriction for how much lead they can contain, but I think it's more the mineral content. And I'm not a potter. I don't work with ceramics or anything, but I've been around it long enough to and seen a little bit of it done to know a little bit, and I can read. Like this green glaze probably contains a lot of copper. The dark browns and reds probably contain a lot of iron oxide, possibly things of that nature. And those minerals are used in raw form, mixed with a slip, I believe, and things of that nature, and then painted on these pots, and under high temperatures it melts and glazes. But under UV light and exposure to water, etc., they leach out. And I think the high mineral content isn't acceptable for orchids. And I've seen some weird issues on the roots. Both these plants, matter of fact, it was this mottled flower right here was in this pot. And when I took it out the other day, I didn't film it because it just slid right out. It wasn't attached anywhere in here, and all the roots around the outside edges were not that great looking, had dead tips and dead parts on them. Just the ones that were in the very center were actually viable and looked really good. The plant's growing well. It just finished this leaf, and it's got another leaf growing, and it's holding on to that spike right there, but the root action is not great. It does have good roots out of the pot. Out of the pot, it's fine, which is another sign. It's telling you there's something wrong inside. So, anyway, that's the issue with these, is the mineral content, just so everybody knows. But thank you for all the information and all the comments. And there were suggestions that, if you have this in a plastic pot like this, and you slip it down inside of here, that'd be fine. And I agree. That's a great way to be able to use these. And you're not going to get as much airflow, though, but they are pretty. I understand the attraction to them. And it's important to keep your garden attractive if that's what's important for you, and I understand that. But just keep in mind that this leaching out of the minerals and stuff may collect down on the bottom, and if it contacts the roots, the plant's liable to suck it up and suffer from it. So just keep that in mind. Again, thanks for everything, everybody, and we'll talk soon. Lots of growing to do. Have a great day.